hate puppies. It's a good podcast.
Not going to be good. I feel threatened. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House, only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems and hopefully figuring out what beer you should be drinking this weekend. I've actually got a lot riding on this week's deli.
Yeah, you talk a big game.
I did, unfortunately, and then after I...
Sounds like a 2.5.
That's the problem. Had I not said anything last week, I think that everyone would come in here this week, try this beer, and give an honest assessment. But now I understand that there's a little bit of joy in me failing that can be found.
Don't sell yourself short. We thoroughly enjoy your failures.
Sorry. Oh, then you will. You would have loved
By the way, we
weekend.
have Lee here, and we do have a beer from last week that I want Lee to try.
See, he's trying to pawn that last one off. I was like, I think Brendan wants to keep that himself.
I know Brendan wants to try it, but don't you want to know Lee's honest take on it?
I have taken the extra. Well, I drank one of the extra ones because really good beer. But then I did take one over to the Duke's house this weekend, and I left one here.
Oh, nice.
And he tried it, and he was like, yeah, that's actually pretty tasty. But he actually made a comment, and he goes, you know what, though? I don't like it as much as insert X, which is the deli from this week.
Wow.
So even he threw the gauntlet down.
Well, I'm already feeling a 1.5.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
we got this one wrapped up.
Yeah.
Why
don't even do it?
I kind of almost want to grab a different beer so you guys could like shit on it and then be like, well, let's try this rando beer over here.
Billy reached out after listening last week's, and he said, damn it, I bought that beer twice to give it to y'all and drank it all.
So he knew.
Yeah, he knew.
He tasted it
Inside
and was
track.
like, that is good. No, it's that good of a beer.
It's the future.
It is so funny, though, how when you try something as a deli versus when you just try it in the wild, you're so much more, like,
Breaking it
critical.
apart.
You're so critical during the deli.
Mm.
And ever since I found out that I went and got this other beer for the deli, every time I've had it since then, I've been like,
Picking it apart.
yeah, I'm like, oh, maybe it's just not. Maybe I've gone over.
Maybe it's just a 3.
But it's weird. Like, even I tried the beer that we had tried last week, and I was just drinking it on my own, and I didn't like it as much.
Really?
Just in that moment. Because it wasn't under that microscope.
Yeah.
I wasn't dissecting every
And you weren't with
nuance.
like your best buds and like
Yeah, it's just
doing
a different
podcast.
I was watching Boba Fett and drinking it and was just like, huh.
Is that any good?
I mean, it is to a nerd, so yeah, I love it. I don't know if you would love it because you're not like as hardcore about
Nah.
Star Wars. Like
I watched The Mandalorian. I liked it. It was okay. It wasn't like mind blowing.
It's every bit as good as The Mandalorian.
Okay.
I mean,
So have you seen? So did y'all watch Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
yeah, I used to
Love
watch
Parks
it.
and Rec.
So there was the whole scene where Patton Oswalt was like filibustering at one of the town council meetings. And he's telling the story about how Boba Fett escapes from the Sarlacc pit and all this other stuff.
Okay.
I saw a video the other day where they had him kind of doing his little filibuster speech, and
Wow,
then
they
the
showed the
opening
scene?
scene of
Nice.
it opening up, and they were like,
They stole it from
"What
him,
is what is this? Like, how did this happen?" But it sounds like it. I don't know. I'm certainly wasn't ripped from Parks and Rec by any means, but just to have that close of a coincidence.
I'm sure Patton and his nerd friends, like at Comic-Con, have been writing that story for
Or
20 years.
100% the people writing Boba Fett were like,
This
we
is
should
great.
go close with that because
Yeah. I do love when you get a show crossover or something like that.
oh, my daughter lost her mind when this one lady who works on ships in the Mandalorian, she just walked by with her droids like in the distance. My daughter lost her mind. She's like, rewind, that's the lady, and like so she's picking out all those things now. It's kind of
Little Easter eggs.
while it wasn't a great scene and like mind blowing, I was happy that she caught one because I rewound it for her and I was like, I'll be damned. You're spot on.
It's like when I watched Wind River the other day on Netflix. It's the same, basically the entire cast from Yellowstone ends up being in it.
oh,
And
for
I was
real?
like, yeah, and I was like, that's so-and-so, because Taylor Sheridan, the guy who created Yellowstone, wrote Wind River.
I have heard that he's known for incorporating a lot of the same actors and actresses across a lot of his work. Would you see that in? You see
I was
that in a
gonna
lot
say,
of
look
movies.
at-
Tarantino.
Well, look at HBO shows in general.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
always those same people kind of
Christopher
recycling.
Nolan does the same thing too, where he uses a lot of the same actors in a lot of his movies.
How about
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler?
yeah,
But,
that whole group of.
Who's the guy who did Edward Scissorhands? That because Johnny Depp and Helen Bonham Carter in every damn
Tim
movie
Burton.
to get Tim Burton.
Yeah.
They're in every one of his movies.
Yeah.
Even if he's going to animate it.
Exactly.
Like, let them talk.
he every pitch meeting. Here's the idea. It's a dark movie.
It's Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp walks in.
Sold.
I like where this is going, Tim.
Yeah.
Green light.
The new guy's over in the corner like raises his hand like, have I heard this before? You're fired. Get out.
Like, no, you haven't. See, this guy has scissors on his hand.
This one's totally different.
This guy has spoons on his hands. Still
His
Johnny
name
Depp.
is Tedward Spoonhead.
Brilliant. Lock it up. Give that man $1 million. Get to work, Johnny. That's funny. All right, so you want to hear about my my sadness? You said you like dissecting my failures. Last week we did, and we'll get to these towards the end of the episode, but
Yeah, on a whim we did this.
we did, and I ended up placing my money on the Cowboys, as everybody who listens knows.
Did you actually place money on the Cowboys?
So you actually ponied up.
Oh yeah,
You're a gambler.
yeah. But as I've
'Cause
said,
I made a pick. I didn't put any money down.
which is fine. That's what makes this
Yeah.
fun. So I haven't even looked at this week's spreads. When I will look in real time and I will give you my gut reaction. But if you go back and listen, there's a good chance that if you heard me go, I'd take this, I'd take this, I'd take this. Don't touch any of those toxic bets that I was taking.
Oh, did you miss them on all of them?
Holy shit, man. Now, everyone knows I've talked about this. I've bragged about my intestinal fortitude this year to not gamble too much, where
Yeah.
I have put $10, $15, or $20.
20's your high end.
And I've made it very clear that if you do this, you will never get burned. Because you can't. It's like,
What are the chances you lose everything, right?
yeah, it's going to work itself out. And if you just happen to pick which one gets the 10 and which one gets the 20 properly, you can end up making money even on a 500 day, which is always the goal. Go with your confidence. So
But you do have to do that in gambling. I learned that the one and only time I went to Vegas. I'm not a big gambler, so like I'd put down the same bet, the same low bet every time. You have to, at some point, lay down extra money because
that's the problem.
because even with the house, the way it works, if you do the same bet every time and you're quote unquote winning, you're still gonna just barely break even.
You'll lose a little to the house.
Yeah,
and that's about it. And you walk away and go, not bad. I was there for
but you
5
haven't
hours.
made money.
Yes.
And that's the whole point of gambling, right? Is to make the money.
I wouldn't know.
But
That's not your area of
you've heard
expertise.
that.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
But I definitely I had a rough go. Actually, I'm going to open up my
I think he's heard that the house always wins, and he's
Yeah.
at his house. So
Yeah, I think he's
Surely.
confused.
What's horrible about that is that mentally that makes sense to me. I'm like, well, I am at home. This should work out just fine. It didn't. Last week was exceptionally bad week. Sorry, I'm doing all my double authentication because I don't trust myself in this app.
Yeah.
I make it very difficult for me to get in here. Okay, here we go. Here's some of my bets.
winners.
Is this just last week's football games or anything else?
No, I only bet on football last week. Oh, I forgot I did win one brilliant bet. Brilliant bet. But you can see really how I'm starting to get a little crazy, unfortunately. So it started off Raiders against the Bengals. Now it's the playoffs, so of course $20.
You took the Raiders.
Took the Raiders. They got shellacked. Did not win that bet. But then I thought, what's the big deal? New England. New England's a lock.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm all over
They
it.
never lose to Buffalo.
They never do. And I'm watching Man on Fire at night, so like I'm all hyped up on New
Oh,
England.
yeah.
I've seen them beat Buffalo 30 times in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm like, look at this.
And they're Denzel in that movie. Like they are going around just kicking ass and taking
Yeah.
names.
He's making the meeting with God for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what do? $25.
Ooh.
Got to make it back.
You can see where I'm starting to fall apart in the playoffs.
What happened to your morals?
I don't know. I don't know. So I go, make it 25.
Do you think because the football season is like ending, you're like trying to get it all in?
I think
that's
there's
a
a
good point.
lot of mental things going on. So all of a sudden I put 25. So now this is the second game of Saturday. This is how far I made it in my weekend before I break my rule.
Oh, I mean, you've already opened up the door to Pandora's box now.
Yes. So now I'm at $25 and loss.
Not only lost,
Shellacked.
we were Lee and I were talking about this before we turned the mics on. Like that, they're basically calling that the most perfect offensive football game of all time.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
They didn't. The Bills didn't punt. They didn't kick a field goal. They got the ball 7 times and they scored a touchdown every time.
So now I'm starting to get nervous, right? Like I'm realizing
More money will
I'm
fix
in the hole.
that.
I'm starting to fall apart. So I was saying all
But
week,
you weren't thinking I don't know shit about football and therefore should not bet on it. That
No.
That didn't cross your mind.
Now-
Oh, he slept on it, and then he was like,
so we slept on it, and
3 games on Sunday, baby.
I listened to the podcast, and the podcast says, you take Tampa. So I'm like, okay, but I'm cold right now. Like I'm not hitting. So I'm going to pivot. I'm going to take the over. Boy, that didn't hit. So there's another $20 gone. But then I decide, not only that, I'm so confident in the over in Tampa. Let's parlay a game too. So I parlay the over in Tampa. Well, that over didn't hit, so that kind of cursed the parlay. So that one lost.
Did your other bet on the parlay hit though?
No,
Oh.
because I had Tampa. I mean, because I had the over, which never hit.
But what was your second bet in that 2 bets? So you had to bet.
Yeah, it was Tampa and the over.
Oh, Tampa and the
Lost
over.
it.
Okay.
So now I'm getting frustrated. So what do? I put $35 on the Cowboys because that was my big podcast bet.
Yeah.
So now I'm just my morals are falling apart, right? So I put $35 on the Cowboys.
fully off the wagon at this point.
Fully
Yeah.
off the wagon. Cowboys get shellacked. So now I blame the refs. There was a last second opportunity
As every Cowboys
there.
fan
Yeah.
does.
Now here's where you can tell that I'm completely manic.
Now, what are you about $100 out right now?
Yeah, probably. Now here's where I'm totally manic in my thinking though. I take the Cowboys for $35, but then I put $20 on Travis Kelce to catch a touchdown, which he hits.
Oh, nice.
So I got a prop bet. I had totally forgotten about that. So now I've got Kansas City on the podcast, right? But then I'm like, boy, I'm really going.
Hold on, Kansas City on the podcast.
Yeah, on the podcast I said Kansas City beats the Steelers.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Dallas.
No, I already lost that one.
Yeah.
That one's
Moved on
gone.
to the next loss.
So now that I've lost all these games in a row, I literally think to myself, oh, you're a mush. All your bets are wrong. Take Pittsburgh. Go against
Oh,
everything you
man.
said. So now I throw a bunch of money on Pittsburgh. Mushed it. Completely
Wow.
lose. So by going against my own beliefs, I managed to lose that game. And I had Kansas City.
a little double reverse.
So then in a drunken stupor, late that night, I take all of the money in my account,
Oh, no.
minus $20.
You got to save it for the next bet.
Yeah. So I put the biggest bet of the season on the Cardinals.
Oh, no.
And the Cardinals literally didn't even show up.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, that was the worst one of all of them. I mean,
Dude,
I lost everything.
you lost everything in your account.
I have $20. The Travis Kelce bet is the only money in my account.
Oh, my gosh.
And which I shouldn't have even done because I bet on a guy who was on the team that I said would lose. And it's what won. The only bet I won is the most asinine bet you can make. But I literally put it all. And within 5 minutes of watching the
That game
Cardinals,
was
I go,
over.
oh, no. I'm broke.
And you know what? All I can think of is one of the guys in the man room that would tell you how awesome it is that you picked all those wrong because that's just as hard to do
Yes.
to pick all of them right.
That's true. But I'd actually picked him right on the podcast, and then I was like, you're so bad. And then when I started hitting again on or what would have hit, I was like, well, then I go back to my gut, put it all on the Cardinals, win it all back. Dude, I had like $215 in my account. I'm at like
$20.
$20.
So are you done gambling?
No,
Got to make it all back.
so I need the best bet. Like this $20 has to get put all or nothing.
Yeah.
So stick around, folks. Wait till
Yeah.
the end.
Till the end, I'm going to give you The lock of the century.
And you can only make one bet though. Like you've got your $20.
But you're gonna have to pick something.
Or I deposit money into the account, which has crossed my mind.
Or can't you make that $120 bet across all the games a parlay to where like you'll win like 8 times or whatever?
Oh, Troy, you're a genius. You're
That-
right. I
yeah.
can just win it all back.
Yeah.
Oh,
It really,
I'm gonna be so rich.
it really is that $25 bet just sent you down the rabbit hole.
That's when I
It
fell
started
off.
you off.
I literally all year on a single game, I had never broken my rule.
I can't tell you how many
Oh,
times
yeah.
I heard you say like $20 is my max, and that's the only ones I feel really good about.
Yep.
Like,
And it kept me so good, but then I just panicked in a drunken stupor on Sunday night because there were 3
Wow.
games. So like, I was all fired up, and I was like, I know how to fix this. You just let it ride, baby. Let it ride.
Scared money don't make money.
Yeah. So I'm going to be joining the Caesars app for the Super Bowl.
So you
if
can
I
get their
get their promos. which-
yeah.
I'm just devastated, man. Like fortunately, it's not like back in the day when I used to gamble way more money than I had.
Well, this is all the house money that you won when you first joined the app.
I had put $100 in a year ago, and I've ridden that thing up to over 500 and now back down, and now here we are at 20. But I still
It's like the house always wins.
But I still have $100 floating out on the Bulls, and if they can just get over 43.5 games, then $200 goes right back into my account,
and then you're set for next year.
and then I'm set for next year.
Yeah. Well, like Drake
you
said,
gotta
you got to
cash
start
out.
from the bottom to get to here. You know, like
That's
The beauty is that
Drake.
they will let me cash out because they like see that I'm going to win that Bulls game. They're like, if you just want to take your money back out, you can do that. Like, they don't give you that option when it looks like you're going to lose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if it looks like you're going to win, there's always this little, would you like to cash out? And they'll give you like 10 extra bucks. Like, look at that. You made $10.
Oh, that's like them hedging their bets.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't want to pay out that 200.
Yeah.
No. So I'm
Better run.
failing. Yeah, this was bad.
That
This
is a rough
was-
run.
this
Like, I mean,
was bad.
was it around Christmas time? I guess you had a pretty steep decline where you couldn't hit anything to save your life.
I've had 2 of these now in the last probably
2-3 weeks.
I'd say like 6 weeks.
Oh, I
But
guess
then
it was
I've also had some heaters
Yeah.
where like I couldn't miss.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm back. But no, dude, this is horrible.
I guess it was actually when we had the mustache guys here. That's when you lost everything for what felt like 10 days straight.
Yeah, and I got it back on one Monday night because I called somebody. I was like, hey, just wondering who you're betting on. And I just went with them. And it hit.
Someone
And it
else
was-
surely is
Yeah, and it
winning.
was just enough to get me back. But I even contacted the White Knight, and he's the one who was like, oh, that over. That's when I switched because I realized I was falling apart. So I started betting other people's bets, and he mushed. I can't win.
So how Stu and I won and you lost.
Yeah, it's 1-1-0.
And I don't know if Stu put any money down. I did not. So I'm still sitting at 0.
But you're still in the podcast world.
Yeah.
You guys are beating me, which is not shocking because boy, I couldn't hit. So at the end of this week, we'll bring another. So what was all that Drake talk?
So Troy brought up an interesting story that happened apparently recently with Drake and some interactions he had with a fan, should we say?
Yeah, Instagram model.
Oh, okay. So with
Oh.
that, he apparently had sex with her.
With an Instagram model?
Consensual sex.
Yes.
It was consensual.
Utilized a condom as any wise
Smart.
man should,
I
especially
think
a man of
if
his
I
stature.
remember correctly, he has a kid from like a one-night
does.
stand kind of situation. Like,
Yeah, I don't remember if it's necessarily like a one night stand, but yes, he does have a kid out there that it was kept super private for
Yeah.
a very long time.
Well, good for him. Congratulations, Drake.
Exactly, yeah. So has sex, uses a condom, as a wise man should. He goes to the bathroom, he throws it away in the trash. Girl gets up, decides to go to the bathroom, and look at a little gift that was left here.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm going to be a baby mama.
So she decides.
So I've heard of this. I've heard of this happening, and I'm assuming this is where this is going, but I've heard of this where people who want to get pregnant from somebody who has an exorbitant amount of money,
Yeah.
they will actually go and take the condom and like try to reverse engineer.
like inseminate, like
Yeah.
that's effectively what they're doing.
Yeah, kind of push it in the other way.
I've always heard that. I guess it works. I mean, I feel like in sex ed class you're taught that if you look twice at a girl, she's probably going to get pregnant. And then as I've grown into an adult and had kids and known people that had kids, it's been quite a situation to actually have kids. Like,
Yeah.
it's not very easy for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe the Instagram models of the world know the trick.
Yeah, you got to let it marinate for a few minutes in a condom.
Yeah.
And then
In a trash can.
and then reverse it back.
yeah.
So was that the plan here?
Yeah, I think that was her plan. She was like, "Hey, I've hit it rich. I've got Drake right here, and
Yahtzee.
baby daddy
Boom.
paychecks on the reg."
Yeah.
So she takes the condom and like you said, she tries to effectively inseminate herself.
Reverse engineer.
Yeah, and got a little spicy surprise with the fact that Drake apparently put hot sauce into his condom afterwards. Obviously,
No, beforehand. Drake's a masochist. People don't know that. He likes to put a little Cholula in there and then put it on and
Feel the burn.
keep it right up there in that reservoir tip,
Yeah.
hoping
Oh
that
my
it'll
God. I can't
hoping
even-
that it'll come back through the old pee hole.
That sounds awful.
So
Yeah, but
he-
imagine how good it feels when you finally come and you blow all that Cholula out. You're like, oh, it's sweet release. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It's like 2 orgasms in one.
Oh my
Well
God.
done.
No,
And you
I
don't
don't
have
think
to-
that would feel good coming back out.
But you don't have to choke yourself out like Carradine or whatever. David
Carrot.
Carradine.
Yeah.
Carradine.
That's
Kung
true.
Fu guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something-
so she found the hot sauce. He got her with the old okey doke and heard her screaming. And then she put it out there on blast. She put it out there. I forget, it was on a podcast or something. She told the story.
What a great feeling when you're in the bathroom and you're putting hot sauce in there. Basically, what you are saying is, I trust nothing about the situation that I'm in.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do this devious thing on the off chance that she's going to pull something even more devious. So I'm going to put this hot sauce in there.
Unless this has happened to him before.
But then to hear the scream
Yeah.
from the bathroom, you're sitting there just completely validated in your
Yeah, I was gonna say,
refractory
you think
period.
he's got him.
Yeah, I think at that moment he's like, that was awesome. I made the right move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's first off. I feel like if you're a famous rapper as big as Drake is, I feel like you've got to be constantly on guard for weird shit like that to happen.
I would keep Danny DeVito's sperm in my I would get him to milk his prostate, keep that in the bathroom, and then I would take the condom, I would fill some of Danny's sperm in there, throw it in there, and then just hide the other one where she won't find it. And then she's like, I'm pregnant. You could be like, well, let's see if it looks like me.
Oh my God.
Drake's like, hey, we're going to LA this week and pack my toiletry bag to his assistant. They're like toothbrush, toothpaste, soap.
What's this little jar
cologne?
DD
Yeah.
on it? Trust me.
So this can't be the first time he's done this trick.
No. That's kind of my point. I feel like if you're somebody as big of a name as Drake is, anybody that you decide to have or decide to hook up with, you've got to be a little cautious on this. But what I want to know is he carrying the hot sauce around?
That's what I'm
with
saying.
him?
Yeah, in your
Has he
toiletry
got a
bag,
little,
it's like throwing the small bottle of Tabasco.
I was gonna
Pete
say
in
the
there.
little rip open bags of Texas Pete.
Yeah.
What's going on here? And if you're Drake, why don't you have a big ceremonial incinerator when you walk in and you've done the deed, you just take the condom, you throw it in the incinerator.
Yeah.
Or do it like a normal person and pull it off and swallow it in front of him.
Exactly.
That's what I've always done.
I say
It's the only safe way.
tie it up and throw in the toilet. Who cares? You're in a 5-star hotel. If you gum
Yeah.
the works up, then that's on the hotel.
Yeah.
So it was in a hotel?
I can only assume.
So he really is carrying around
If
hot
he's
sauce.
at his home, he definitely, like Leash said, should have a incinerator.
something.
He's got a chute off the side of his house. He just drops it in and goes right to the incinerator.
Yeah, right. Then there's a bunch of homeless ladies at the end of the shoot. I got one!
collecting the ashes.
No, but
Yeah.
Drake is missing out. Why didn't he have his own hot sauce line?
I wouldn't eat that hot sauce.
Well,
You
now-
would eat that hot sauce, dude?
Now I want to know.
You would buy it?
I'd buy it and serve it to y'all. I would never put that
It
on
doesn't
my
have
food.
to come back out of the condom.
We don't know. I only know a few things about Drake. He's got a stupid heart thing he puts in his hairdo. I know that his hot sauce is full of cum. That's a fact.
Not your baby daddy hot sauce.
Yeah, I know that he put for oral use only. Absolutely
plan
not.
D for playing Drake, not plan B, plan D.
So she screamed in the moment, and then she decided to put herself on blast.
Yeah, you look like a psycho.
Yeah,
Like-
it was on a podcast, I think. She kind of told the story, and Drake has allegedly responded to the story.
Yeah.
and basically kind of said like, "Yeah, it's what I
That's
did."
what you
and-
get.
Yeah, he said something along the lines of like, "You can have your 15 minutes of fame. I'll take the other 23 hours and 45 minutes."
There you go.
It's like-
Why not? Yeah, that Drake's got away with words. His kid's all fucked up.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito ass looking kid.
What happened? Hot sauce and sperm.
Do y'all like Drake?
Drake is fine. Like I don't have any
I couldn't name a
issues
Drake song if I had to.
But here's the thing: you may not be able to name them,
But
I
you've heard 'em.
guarantee you've heard them.
I've definitely heard
and
it.
the moment one comes on, you'll start bopping to
Think
it.
he makes some bangers.
He does.
Oh, he
yeah.
does. That's the thing about he makes a lot of songs. Like he's prolific.
Mm-hmm.
He puts a ton of music out, and
Actually, no, I can name one because I remember it was huge. That Hotline
Yeah,
Bling
Hotline
song. Yeah,
Hot sauce bling.
Hot Sauce
Yeah.
Bling. He should remake it.
but it's kind of like Kanye. Like you'll hear a Kanye, you don't think of a lot of, at least not recently.
Old Kanye was pretty good.
It was very good right when he first kind of came out. Those
Yeah.
first two albums, but after that he's put out so much stuff and I don't even know it. But then someone puts it on, I'm like,
You don't have his Christian album?
no.
I heard he's not even going by Kanye anymore. It's Yee.
No, yay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever.
as well he should.
Is it Yeezus or Yeezus?
Yeezys for like the shoes, basically. But
But it's Ye.
yeah,
But it should be Yee.
yeah. Well, he's a rapper.
He's an artist.
He's a wordsmith.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good on him.
I don't know. But I was gonna say
He's no Drake.
like Kanye though. Like you'll hear some of his songs that you've never heard. You're like, okay, that's a good jam. And same with Drake. Like everything's pretty good.
Hmm.
I just don't know it all.
Yeah, he does. He does put a lot out for sure. I'll get in kicks on it where that'll be all that we listen to at the house. Sometimes just like put on like Drake radio and just listen to that for a week or two.
Then it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a good mix too. He's
Drake
got
from State Farm?
Yep. It's not like reverse engineer a condom good, but it's good.
Pretty legit.
yeah. That's got to be from experience. You don't come up with that in the moment.
It's got to be against the
No.
law, right?
It's got to be against the law to pick someone's
Yeah.
sperm
Yeah.
and put it inside of me when I explicitly was saying I do not
yeah.
want this.
You see that condom? The point of that was not to have my sperm inside of you.
Yeah. Like if he'd taken that condom off, he'd be in jail.
Yeah, that's definitely against the law.
So can she go to jail?
I guess
Oh,
only
I'm
if she
probably getting down the
pushes-
road here.
if he pushes charges, maybe.
But
Press
I
his
don't know
charges.
what I mean. What charge would you even push with that? Like,
I don't know. It's got to be illegal though.
Well, sperm stealing?
personal what is it like intellectual property theft?
Creating a child
Yeah.
without the other person knowing.
Yeah,
But it'd be
that's
a
true.
tough case to prove because you'd be like, you knew the risk you were taking when you decided to engage in intercourse.
That's true too. And,
So-
condom's not fail proof.
Yeah, like I think I could lawyer this up and win. If Drake brought me,
Brendan's on the case, guys. Don't worry.
yeah. Like I think
Can you imagine though being famous in today's world? Like you can't even have the fun of being single and hooking up with random models because that's what you're dealing with now.
And that's the thing. Like until this story came out, I assumed that they were having fun and hooking up
Yeah.
with random models. And now I'm like, oh, there are people out there who are
Yep.
trying to take advantage
Oh,
of
yeah.
you having your fun. Like,
Yep.
I am 100% certain nobody's ever gone and fished one of my condoms out in the hopes of ruining their life.
Yeah.
there
It's a safe bet.
was like, oh, man, I already just had sex with this dude now. I don't want any more of this.
That guy bet it all on the Cardinals. Why would I do that? Yeah, now you can have a kid at home making horrible decisions.
He should go ahead and get fixed. If he's not planning on getting married and having kids, he already has one.
Yeah.
I think he probably, if I was that kind of famous though, like I'd want to have kids later in life,
True.
much later in life.
They can reverse it.
Take the Jay-Z route.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
The Derek Jeter.
Also, yes.
Now there's a man. He would sign the waiver. So I mean, that was okay. And I'm sure somewhere in that
I'm sure
fine
Drake's
print,
got a waiver somewhere.
Yeah.
in that fine print though, I bet it's like if you get pregnant, that's on you. No support. Like sign here.
Maybe Drake needs to put in the waiver. Do not fish the condom out of the trash
At your own
can.
risk.
Yeah.
If you do, you owe me $1 million.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Then he could turn around and go, here's $500,000 for that kid. And we're good. Oh, I got a response back from Stu. And in Stu fashion, it's not the answer I was looking for. Unless he's taking Oklahoma.
Oh, classic Stu. Even when he's not here, he can contribute.
Is Oklahoma playing this weekend? I was like, send me your pick so I can say it at the end of Oklahoma.
What? What does that even mean?
Well, okay.
Oh.
I've got to assume that's his pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lock it in, folks.
Lock it in. Oklahoma this week.
Yeah.
And Stu's on a heater.
In every sport they play.
Yeah.
Just bet Oklahoma from here till Sunday.
Field hockey.
Done. Could you imagine if Oklahoma goes on a tear every sport?
Men's basketball, women's basketball,
Yeah.
wrestling, gymnastics.
He's a genius. Well played, Stu. Well played.
Got some
Playing
inside
4D
info.
chess.
Yeah.
Guy's brilliant. Reverse engineering it over here. Just making it go. Making it go. What can you do? What can you do? It is weird not having Stu here.
It is.
It's very odd.
So much quiet.
There's a lot. I like that we set up his mic.
In memoriam.
Yeah. Like his mic is over there.
If you're out there, Stu, we're thinking about you, guy.
That's right. Oh, did you guys see this Budweiser? I was thinking of Stu. He's probably at the brewery.
Yeah, on to the next thing.
It's enough Stu love.
I mean, it's not like a minute of silence. It's a moment of silence.
Yeah. Stu said Oklahoma, -1. No, so I saw this. Budweiser has this beautiful Willy Wonka thing that they're doing right now. The golden can. Have you seen this?
I have not. I know nothing about this.
So Budweiser has put out 10,000 golden cans into the world.
That's a lot.
In specially marked cases. And the way their promotion reads, really big, find a golden can, win $1 million.
There's got to be a catch.
Oh, there's so many catches. Like, this is so frustrating. So I'm like,
Did you say it was 10,000 golden cans?
10,000 golden cans are out in the wild. And if you find one, then all you have to do, quite simply, is go on social media, use this particular hashtag, say this particular thing, and at Budweiser. And now you're entered into a chance to win $1 million.
So it's a 1 in 10,000 chance.
So you get nothing for the golden can?
No.
That's some bullshit.
Other than like maybe some social media clout, because maybe
A little social media clout, but what they also just got was 10,000 schmucks going on their social media, hyping up the fact that they've won a golden can and now everyone wants it. But everyone's going to think they won $1 million because on it says win $1 million, find a golden can.
But you would definitely do it.
Yeah. Oh, if I found the golden can?
Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't I? It's a 1 in 10,000 chance. Or so it seems.
Uh-oh. More catches?
This is the worst catch of the whole damn thing. So I read the fine print. Here's the best fine print. You can also go to the Budweiser website and you can download a golden can label, print it out, stick it around any can, share it on social media.
Wow.
And you are now entered in for a chance to
Wow.
win $1 million. It was bad enough when it was 1 in 10,000.
Yeah.
They should give everyone who finds one $1,000.
Yeah.
I'd be ecstatic over my golden can and then enter me into a chance. But now,
Or like 5 cases of beer. Just give a prize.
give me a case of beer.
Yeah.
Even that. Hey, look at me. But so not only is it a 1 in 10,000 chance, but now any schmuck who wants can go to Budweiser.com, download a label, wrap it around a can, and enter themselves. So you're going to have 1 million entries. It's basically going to turn out like winning the lottery.
So do you even have to have a picture of the can? Because based on what you're saying about it, like you've got to use certain hashtags and phrases or whatever else, like theoretically anybody could just do that already.
I have to go so far as to print the label and hold it up on my can.
Do you think they'll at least have a way to determine whether or not you have a printed label and a legit can? So like maybe they definitely will like at least
You would hope.
skim them off the top like you're in, wink wink, but really you're not in.
That's what I'm hoping.
Because that's some bullshit.
Isn't that the worst competition? They spent all this time to make 10,000 golden cans.
And randomly put them in random,
Which
make
is
sure they
super exciting. If I find a golden can, even at 1 in 10,000, my odds suck.
Yeah.
But they're greater than 0.
They're greater than 0, and I got a chance at $1 million. But then for them to just make it open to anybody, And it doesn't even have to be a Budweiser if you think about it. I just have to go.
Yeah, it can be on a soft drink can. Like you can put it on anything you want.
So for $1 million, they will end up getting well over $1 million worth of ad space by
For sure.
by a million people sharing it and liking it and shooting it around.
And this is a company that could legitimately lose $100 million and not even feel it.
Yeah.
You know, so they could actually just make 100 people winners. Put 100 golden cans out there.
Yeah.
I'd be far more excited. I'd actually, if that was the case, I would drink Budweiser from now until the end of the promotion.
Yeah.
And I was actually thinking about it. I was like, well, I guess I'm drinking Budweiser. And then I read the fine print and I was like, you dick.
Yeah. Now I'm definitely not buying it.
That's a little much in there. Like that's way too many like variables to let them just allow it to be anybody. Like
Anybody.
Yeah.
This is the worst promotion.
Oh, do you have a printer and access to the internet? You can win $1 million. Here you go.
Which they've now just excluded people who maybe just had enough money for Budweiser. And isn't that really the person you want to help?
Yeah.
You know, the person who can't afford toner, internet,
Oh,
but still buying Budweiser.
I'm sure Ambev is really looking out for those folks.
I hate them. I hate them.
Whoever wins will be some schmuck who like games the system and like prints out one and does like couple hundred social media accounts and like figures it all out.
I guess theoretically you could set up like, burner accounts, however many you needed, anonymous accounts. There's nothing that says you have to be like have a certain number of followers or be verified or anything like that.
I find the whole thing to be really piss poor.
Yeah.
They had a chance to do something cool that would have made me drink Budweiser. And now
Not so much.
they screwed it up. And I probably won't even take the time to print one out. I would have bought all the Budweiser looking for it.
Yeah.
Now I won't even print one out because
I would have bought a couple of cases. I definitely will not take time to print one out.
no. But now the fact that it's going to be like 1 in 100,000 chance, it just doesn't feel quite as sexy.
I mean, isn't that still better than whatever the baseline $1 million lottery odds are? I don't even know what that
Oh
would
yeah,
be.
for sure. The lottery is. I mean, the odds in winning any money in the lottery are crazy low.
Yeah, but it also doesn't cost me $20 to enter the lottery. It's a
Yeah.
buck.
True.
$2 if I want the Powerball. But we're talking millions. So $1 million is a buck.
Yeah.
Bullshit. I'm furious with Ambev.
That's pretty drastic.
Pretty weak.
That's a weak ass promo. And the way they did it, I mean, it really did say, find a golden can, win $1 million. I was like,
With an asterisk at the end.
yeah,
Yeah.
just little asterisks over here and a lot of red tape.
I'm trying to think too. Is there like a legal reason because they can't exclude people who don't drink? Maybe like how
That's a valid point. There could be like some
somebody's
going to
come
legal.
up and put a lawsuit out and be
Yep.
like I'm an
I
I
didn't get
don't
a chance
drink.
to
I'm
win
a
'cause,
teetotaler.
yeah.
Like yeah,
I'm a former alcoholic. You're asking
Yeah.
me to drink alcohol
yeah.
to participate in your.
Lawyer Brendan, how would you handle this case?
They do have to make it eligible without purchase. All of those sweepstakes
Oh,
that,
is that how
a
it is?
company does, you
Yeah.
do have to have that on some level. But
Yeah, but
you
that,
could
that,
then,
that shouldn't
so,
be the way though,
so how
because
about
that's
this?
not how the lottery works.
So
Like
how
I don't
about
get
this?
to win a
Yeah.
lottery.
We're gonna
but I
give
win.
we're gonna give 2 $1 million prizes. One
One for a can.
will be only for cans, and another $1 million prize is for anyone who chose to enter
Yeah.
and a can.
Yeah.
So that keeps the 1 in 10,000 for the
Still keeps it
cans,
valuable.
and then the 1 in 100,000 for everybody that prints.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You do that, then I'm
Right back
okay
in,
with
baby.
this. Yeah, then I'm right back in. But I still don't like it's 10,000, 1 in 10,000 odds. Screw you, Budweiser.
Guess they.
That is a lot of cans too, like you said.
I guess they have to be packaged only in 12 or cases because
It said
you see it.
specially marked cases,
Yeah,
which
because they'd have to be on the interior. Couldn't be
Yeah.
like up by the handle or on the edges.
you might get lucky though. That's
Yeah.
the machine puts them in. I'm guessing.
Yeah, but I'm
I
sure
feel
they
like that-
figured a way.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's something where they take off however 10 cases or 10,000 cases or whatever, and they manually put one in
Yeah,
to make that roll.
Yeah, that would make sense. You hide that bitch right in the center, and then I'm
Because wouldn't that be somebody's luck? They find the one right on the handle.
right on the handle.
yeah, you're like jackpot.
The 6-pack
Or
with
you
the one
open-
on the corner.
I was gonna say, you open up
Got
a
him.
24 pack, and there's 8 of them in there.
Oh yeah,
You're like, damn, I got robbed
$8
twice.
million. Woo!
Stupid Budweiser.
How many people are going to buy that though, thinking like
They're gonna walk out of
Because
the
they're not going to read the fine print.
Yeah, they're gonna walk out of the grocery store, call up the fucking Sea-Doo dealership down the road.
Oh
and
gosh,
call they're
absolutely.
going to call their boss? Fuck you, Mike. You can suck my. You've always been a piece of shit.
Yep.
I'm never coming in back in tomorrow.
Hey, boss.
so
So my wife read the fine print. I don't think I'm going to win any money here.
Hey, Mike. Did my brother prank call you yesterday?
You guys are real dick.
he's my twin brother. He sounds just like me. He was using my phone too.
What a jerk. Dude, that's hilarious.
I love working with you.
You're the best boss I ever had. You may come in on Saturday? What about Christmas? I'll be there on Christmas. I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want you in here, Mike, on Saturday. You're a drunk. Bye-bye. Oh,
Yes.
shit.
You ready to put it to the test?
I'm dying, man. I hope this does all right.
Is it deli time?
It is. It's right on the nose, deli time.
Oh,
I'm gonna
man.
go. Are you grabbing it?
Lee grabbing it.
This is
tell us about this because this is in a growler, right? This is in a
this is a crowler,
crowler.
and this would be hard to get. So this is a bit inside baseball for you Richmond folk. And if it
Pine
doesn't,
Creek Shape of Dreams IPA, 7.1%. Now, when you get the crowler, you don't get the cutesy adjectives all over it.
oh, I can give it some adjectives.
What do they say about it? What do you say about it?
I think it's very
Lee's
tasty.
gonna look it up. I think.
I think that it doesn't fall in your typical IPA range. It's very reminiscent of the beer we had last week, which is what kind of woke me up.
All right.
The future hops. So I'm sure this has some future hops in it.
So, via Untapped website, Shape of Dreams was brewed with tons of Murphy and Rude rolled oats and Epiphany malted wheat to give it a soft and round mouthfeel that bolsters its sweet flavor. This is combined with a truly unique hop profile delivered by HBC 630 and Sabro hops. These hops create a sweet candy-like aroma that has notes of tropical fruit, ripe peach, and coconut cream. The flavor is filled with mixed berries, stone fruit, and juicy pear, with more subtle hints of tangerine and fresh mango.
That's literally like a dozen different fruits and shit they just said.
Yeah.
There's no way you could taste all of those.
While there is some restrained bitterness in the finish, this beer is medium-bodied and sweeter than most of our other IPAs.
Smells sweet. The can smells sweet.
This is a weird IPA. And this is one that even my wife tried and went, ooh, I like that.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, you said 7% alcohol, right?
7.1 is on this can. I'm sure it changes per...
So this is going to be interesting because this is my first time tasting it through the lens of the deli.
As an official beer taster.
Yeah. Last time I
on
drank
the
it,
clock.
I was just a beer drinker.
Yeah, you were Saturday Dan, just hanging out.
Yeah, and I ordered it. Like, I'd just been ordering beers, and then I ordered one.
It was your day off.
And I was like, what is this? I was like, this beer is really, really good. Of course, I poured mine. Mine's all foam. How did y'all's turn out?
Mine's pretty full. This whole cup.
About 45% foam.
45% foam?
Yeah.
Then I got all the beer because mine's like up to here.
His is perfect.
I'll see who you care about the most here.
Not me.
Not me, myself, and I.
I can't even get to my beer. I have failed.
I will say I was able to get a little bit of beer in this, so that was
That is interesting.
yeah.
It's not. It smells hoppier than it is.
It's not hoppy. It's
No.
something.
It's like a funky sweetness.
Yes.
That is a funky sweet beer. Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
Well,
And there's all those weird fruits. Yeah, they kind of are.
Yeah.
They're all there. That's
yeah,
a fruity
I
beer.
genuinely could see a little bit of pear in this, like it talks about. That's not
Yeah.
something that
No.
I feel like I've ever had in a beer
It's
before.
a very berry beer.
And coconut cream, that too.
It's
I'm
very
getting
odd.
some cream to that.
It's definitely silky smooth, and it does not leave the mouth funk.
That's why my wife likes it, because she hates IPAs. And I was
Yeah.
like, honey, I need you to try this IPA. She's like, I don't want it. I was like, just try it. And she goes, get a growler of that.
Oh, wow.
So we came home and drank it that whole night. I do think it tastes different under the lens of the deli. It's very odd.
It's not. It doesn't taste anything like Future Hops.
There was something about it that the future hops reminded me of, though. Like, ooh, I just had that.
This
sip.
has way more flavor than the Future hops.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot
here.
going on here.
But if I
each
told
sip
you-
is kind of different.
Yeah, my
flavor.
third sip, I think I finally found level. But if I told you this was a fruit beer,
Yeah.
you'd be like, okay, it's a fruit beer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's an IPA.
It's and I don't know if it's the coconut cream part, but there's a little bit of that lactic-y kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't say there's any lactose in it.
No, it just says the coconut cream part.
What the hell is
Yeah.
that? This is a weird beer, isn't it?
This is odd. Having
Very.
not had the Future one, I'm surprised that you would say that this is better than whatever that was.
That's why you're going to have the Future one before you leave tonight. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to make it till next time you're here. So I can assure you of that. Things don't just fall. Fours don't just fall out of the sky around here. And that was a
They don't
straight
stick
four.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was interesting to listen back to hear you guys kind of go through that where, I mean, when Stu opened it up with a 4, you're like, oh, shit. This is.
Stu didn't even mention the marketing at first. He goes, it's a 4.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Shot that load quick.
No doubt. He draked it. Maybe that was it. Maybe she just felt like he wasn't in there long enough.
So the answer is to grab the condom. I don't think if
Reverse engineer
Yeah.
the experience.
it's like having sex again. No, it's not.
Only this time, more like Mexican food. Very, very spicy.
Is that a Cholula
Did you give me an
Texas Pete?
STD? Why is it burning?
Well, that's the thing I can't imagine. Like, what?
Oh yeah, what if you accidentally just jam an STD? Like he's trying to be a good guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's been burning a little when I pee, so I figure wear this condom. She's like, well, I want to burn when I pee. It worked. It worked.
Or what if he
It burns.
What if he definitely did the hot sauce and he has an STD?
Yeah.
So
The
now
hot
you
sauce
have
is the cover.
yeah,
in
you
case,
have two
like-
burnings going on.
Then it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I already think he's brilliant. I'm gonna start
What-
doing this.
I don't know what.
I triple dog dare you!
Don't tell me, dog.
Oh, do it. Do it. I
I'll
wanna-
report back.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, she didn't call back.
How'd your date go?
Well, that also
She didn't
implies
call
that
me
there
back.
are people that like
She doesn't-
want that to happen
Yeah.
to them. With
I think that was Brendan's take. Things we don't have to worry about.
Isn't that the truth? Nobody ever. Well, my dog. My dog's gone and got it.
Not for the same reason.
Yeah, it's a dude.
it's like, man, this really smells like Brendan.
Man, parts per million through the roof. I love this guy. Oh, what?
All right, who's going first here?
I need one more minute.
All right.
I need
Yeah,
one
just
more
need
second. I just
Couple
need
more
to
sips.
just let me get in here.
All I can taste is hot sauce right now.
All I can. This is boozy.
It is.
Not the taste, but I feel it.
Yeah.
No, you feel it quick.
I feel it.
You
Yeah.
feel it quick. It's the hot sauce.
Yeah, I actually really agree with you on that, Troy, where it doesn't have that flavor of like high octane
No.
alcohol. But yeah, I
I feel
definitely
like my,
can feel it
my
immediately.
head.
Yeah.
I feel it in my head.
So I'll go first because we all know where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
So it won't be
7.
shocking.
11 team.
Yeah, 11-70. You were both right. So I do think it's a deli-worthy beer. I really do. The thing that I love about it is that the hop is so understated for an IPA.
Yeah.
It's got all this fruity stuff going on, and it's super mellow as far as drinkability. It doesn't leave any of that aftertaste in your mouth. If there is an aftertaste, I had never picked up on it till you said coconut cream.
Yeah.
That's a very odd tasting note, but it's there. The pears are legit.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real.
Yeah, tangerine, pear. I definitely get a little bit of that. Stone fruit, not so much.
But I like how fruity and smooth it is. It's almost like a lambic of sorts. I would give that a 4, but we all knew that was coming
Yeah.
because I gave the one last week a 4.
I'm
and I
actually
thought-
surprised you didn't go 4.5.
No,
Just
because
to
I'm
hedge
not.
his bets.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, because I'm not. I don't think it is like the perfect beer, But I do think that is my favorite IPA coming out of the local breweries in Richmond right now, the Fine Creek Shape of Dreams.
But you did say it would beat that beer last week.
I thought so too, but
Yeah.
now I'm drinking it.
Under
And
a
I'm-
critical lens.
Yeah, and I'm saying I honestly intended to come here and give it a 4.5.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is a 4.5. I think it's just better than every other IPA out there right now in the area. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 4. I love the fruitiness. I don't like that it's overly hoppy. I'm shocked that these flavors are coming from hops. But again, they rattled off some new malts and some new hops that maybe I have a feeling this
New
is
to
the
the game.
direction that these IPAs are going now.
All the hipsters are starting to figure it out.
They're starting to figure out how to just not throw hops on it, and they've realized you don't have to just go citra hop to make it citrusy.
You don't have to run it through a gym sock.
Yeah, you can do other things. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4. But I think this reminds me a lot of the Future Hop from New Belgium. I think there's similar characteristics to it.
Well, I think you mentioned it too, that you don't get the hoppiness. There's that sweeter kind of aspect to it. Looking back at the description of it, talks about these rolled oats and also having a bit of the malted wheat in it. I mean, that kind of
maltiness
exactly, a little
is
more of that sweetness to
All
it.
day, and that's what I dig about it, because I don't like a brown ale. I don't like when things are just malty. I think the play between the malt and the hops is fantastic here. Ooh, you're talking me into a 4.5.
So my take on this is it doesn't taste anything like the Future hops. But is it better than that? Because that was the gauntlet that was laid down.
That was the gauntlet I laid down. I think it's a better beer. But now that I'm in the lens,
Is it worse than the Future hop?
no, I do not believe
Okay.
it's
But
worse.
you feel it's on par.
I believe it's better, but it's not a half point better.
Same
Yeah.
but different.
If you put the two of them in front of me and said, which one would you like to drink? I would opt for this because I've had this not in the deli lens, and I've had the Future hops not in the deli lens. And I've enjoyed this more when it's not under the lens.
I think hopheads would like this more than the Future hop. To me, the Future hop was just cleaner and less going on. This has a lot of different flavors in it that Future hop doesn't have.
Yeah.
But I do think that you're right. This is on par with Future hop.
It's just different.
It's different, but they're both
But they're both that
pluses.
new IPA vibe.
Yeah.
It's
But
good.
all the things we like about Future hop, we like about this too. So to me, they're different flavor profiles, but just on par. So I give it a 4 too. I think it's good. I think it's really good.
You're in the same boat as me. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I wanted to go
Yeah.
over, but under the hypercritical lens, it's just good. It's just really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's not a game changer like I thought it was the first time I had it when I was sitting by a fire pit. But it is better than most.
Well, you're not used to having good IPAs, so when you have one, just like last week, we were kind of blown away. But now we're like, oh shit, we know 2. Like,
But they're both different. They're
Yeah.
not your typical.
that's why Lee's gonna have to have one.
Oh, he has to have one. We have
Yeah.
to give him one.
Yeah, I would be curious to try that one in comparison with this. I think that this is very good. There is that creaminess, that lactose kind of aftertaste to me
I picked that up too.
that I'm not a fan of. That I
Okay.
don't like that. I think
Uh-oh.
a sweeter
2.5's coming.
You-
No, I think a sweeter IPA like this is a very different approach, like we all said. Like that's something that I've not really experienced before. All that being said, I still would give this a 3.5. I think that this is something that's unique to the market as far as I'm aware of. Really good, very smooth. That hint of sweetness. For me, it's just the bit of creaminess at the
too
end
much.
that I don't like.
Then you're gonna. Then I think he's spot on.
Uh,
This is going to be his 4.
Yeah,
here,
I think
the
he'll
future
like
hop.
that. Yeah. You gonna crack it now?
Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. Before you, let me get a hit off that. I just want to pour a little. I
Yeah.
want to see. I just
Yeah,
want to see.
yeah.
Troy, you should take some too, because I would be curious to see what you guys think, like right off between the two.
Just pour me a taster in
Here,
there.
just swish it. Get a little shot in there, and we'll give you the rest of this. I just want to know, kind of, because I really thought they were similar. We'll see.
We're redeling last week's deli. This is crazy.
Nope, Troy, you're spot on. This is so much crisper and lighter. The other one has so much more
Yeah.
flavor, but I'm still picking up on a similar flavor profile where it's like it's fruity but not citrusy.
I think
fruity.
if I remember correctly, it's not on there, but I want to say when Lee read the hops on the Fine Creek,
One of them was the
one of
same.
them was the same as the Future hops.
The Future Hops is a smoother, crisper beer.
Yes.
It's more of a typical beer. The Shape of Dreams is more of a cloudy, juicy beer. But I think they're both dancing in the same ballpark.
Yeah, so I mean, first couple sips of Future Hops, I think that is a very good IPA. Definitely stays away from the sweetness side that this one's kind of.
Yeah, this other one was dancing more sweet, which I'm calling juicy.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. The Future Hops one talks about ads. Man, why? I'm tired of
Ads.
this shit, dude.
Pop-up ads.
Oh my god, I don't even know how to get past it.
Yeah, that right there is a.
That's what Brendan makes his livelihood.
He's like, yeah, that looks sick, don't it?
Yeah. Did that have any animation at the bottom of it? The whole pop up and then some animation at the bottom?
No, it just I was like here on the website, and then all of a sudden it just moved to here.
Yeah. You
No,
just got to
keep
keep
scrolling
past.
up.
Yeah, well, yeah, but now I know I got to go back to that.
Yeah. That's a good ad.
It's annoying.
Yeah, but you see, that's a non-expandable ad. That's
Yeah.
actually
would-
good.
Yeah, not to go down too far down that rabbit hole. I was reading an article the other day talking about all the different intrusions there are now on your standard web page.
Yeah.
Between the moment you move your mouse towards the top of your taskbar, it's like, don't leave, check this out, and the cookies thing at the bottom, and the pop-up that comes in halfway through your article
Yeah.
asking whether you're enjoying your experience. Like, there are so many intrusions now on the everyday internet
Yep.
user that it's become a pain in the ass.
You
to
see,
try
I don't mind that ad because it's a scroller
Sure.
that
Yeah.
stays in its
Yeah.
place, so you can scroll past
Yeah.
it and then keep seeing your content.
Yeah.
Whereas the ones that
It's
expand
kind
over
of
the
like
screen,
a subliminal one. Like you're like scrolling
Yeah.
past, you're like, no,
but the ones that expand, they
you gotta
force
close
you to
out.
deal with
Yeah.
it, and then that creates accidental clicks, which creates a false metric where we
Yeah.
can go, look how well it did.
Yeah.
And then they're like, but nobody did anything
Yeah.
on the website. We're like, yeah, because you bought a pain in the ass ad.
Yeah, I will say in the realm of internet ads, the idea of the ones that are just basically in the background that you scroll over, fully agree with that. I've never experienced this where you open up the web page, and again, I'm obviously just on my phone, but you open up the web page and then it moves to the ad that you then have to adjust off of.
Yeah, that's
That's a little different.
That's a cargo scroller ad right there. Little inside
Hey,
baseball.
Sick.
You don't need to show off in front of us, dude.
I'm just saying when I see that's why I was like, let me see what that ad's doing because
You're flexing nuts.
I like to see what well because look if I talk to a client and I'm like and they're like hey we'd like an ad that's high impact but not a pain in the ass then I have to know which one to point to because there are some people who are like I want one that expands and takes over the screen and I'm like that's a shitty experience.
Yeah.
We can do that.
And on mobile is a completely different like animal too compared to like a desktop where you're dealing with such limited screen space and everybody's got fat fingers. Like the number of times, like you said, like in unintentional clicks and things like that. Like
I do nothing personal on a laptop anymore. Everything personal is on my phone.
See, I have a personal laptop,
I do not.
and that is where like the real shadiness goes
the
down.
science happens.
Yeah, but you know what else I have? I have a credit card that goes to every dirty corner of the internet. Like I'm willing to put that thing on anywhere
Yeah.
because it's got such a small limit. Like I have to pay it off every month because I won't be able to buy the stuff I want with it. That's the one that goes to the gambling accounts.
Yeah.
That's- Because if someone got a hold of that, they're gonna get me for like a grand total of like $1,000.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
sent me things like, we would like to up your credit limit. I was like, I will
No.
cancel.
Yeah.
I will cancel right now if you up that credit limit. I let them take me. It was originally $300. It was one
Yeah.
of those where I was in Panama City for spring break as a college kid.
Oh, so you've had this a long
They would
time.
give you a T-shirt if you
Oh,
signed up
yeah.
for a credit card. And I was like, bro, I desperately need a T-shirt. And so it was like, it was like,
look at me right now.
yeah, it was like a fake Spuds McKenzie on a surfboard, and I was like, yeah, I need that T-shirt because like I'm at the beach and I don't
Yeah.
have a lot of clothes. I'm in college, and they were like, all you gotta do is sign up for this credit card, and it's a great deal because it's only a 35% interest rate. And I was like, that sounds
Pretty much free.
it's like that sounds really reasonable. And so they gave me a $300 credit limit. And of course, I got away from that card over time, but I always kept it.
Yeah.
And that was my
That's your
internet
burner
card.
card, yeah.
Because it's like, I will never not pay off that card. But then one day I had to make, like, they kept trying to up my limit, and I was like, screw you, man. That card's dirty, man. You can't let it last. And
Don't let that devil in here.
but then finally one day, one of my dirty purchases was over $300. And they was like, as soon as I was like trying to do it, they were like, bloop.
Do I
We
even
can-
want to ask?
Yeah. I do want to ask.
What
What
a-
was it?
I don't know. It was just like some eBay purchase or like some Craigslist thing. Like some
Yeah, but
you
you're
know,
making it sound dirty. I'm thinking like,
I mean dirty as in not like a trusted like site.
oh, okay, like
You know, like Amazon, I'll put any card on there.
yeah.
Like I don't
My
care.
social security
talking
number's
about
on
like
there.
a-
My kid's
yeah.
social security number's on there.
you're talking about
like
like a website you don't trust.
Yeah, it's a website you've never been to before. You don't know anything about them. They're not going to take PayPal.
you haven't even done the second date with them.
Yeah, and then but you're like you desperately want that thing, you know? So you're like, well, I've got this credit card over here that's got a hot sauce condom. Like, we'll just use that because if they do steal it, they can only run it up.
Yeah.
To a certain
it's gonna
point.
burn when they pee.
And the good news is it's a Chase card, so it is like a legitimately legitimate bank.
Yeah.
So at least there is some fraud protection there. But the ultimate fraud protection is you can't take but a few
Yeah.
$100s out of there. That's
Yeah.
the ultimate fraud
I don't
protection.
have a black Visa card that you could run up to.
Yeah, somebody has like $100,000 limit,
Yeah.
and you go ahead and you decide to put that on some bullshit website, and someone gets it and runs it up. They could take you for $100,000. That's the problem with a debit card. You don't want to put a debit card on a website
Yeah.
because at least on a credit card, if someone steals that info and they run it up,
There's a limit.
that's
to
money
it,
on
yeah.
credit. If they steal your money from your bank account, you're not going to get that back right away.
Yeah.
Like that money's gone until this whole process is over. I learned that the hard way. Some of these lessons I hope people listen to. Because when I rented a house.
Yeah. You got burned on that house.
At Snowshoe, that was a complete scam.
yeah.
That was on my debit card.
But you got it back, right?
Only because PayPal had managed to like route that stuff. But that money was gone.
For a
That
long
money was-
time.
Yes, I had to like fight to get it back, but fortunately PayPal fought for me and got it back. But that's when I learned. I was like, why is any of this stuff out there?
Yeah.
Like I'm not using debit card. I don't use debit cards on gas pumps because I've seen too many of those like those
Dude, the
skimmers.
rippers, dude, they're
Yeah.
insane.
People will put those things right on there. It looks just like where you put it, and when you put it in there, it's reading it before the actual gas pump's reading it, and it sends that.
Only place I
information on.
use a debit card is at the ATM machine.
I couldn't tell you the last time I used
Yeah.
my debit card, and I don't do any transactions at an ATM machine ever anymore either. So it's like I had to put in a check recently, and I could have just done the scan in
Yeah,
on,
take
your,
a
on your
picture.
phone thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, I'm near a bank, I'll just run it in. I could not remember my PIN. I was like, I tried 2 different ones, and I was like, well, number 3
Now
is
I'm
either
locked
going to
out,
shred it or I'm going to get it
Your
back.
PIN is 3? Damn it. You better change that. Literally, you find the Abacus card, and which doesn't shock me that this
Yeah.
dude would be scared of too many numbers. It's a first pin 1, second pin 2. All right, we got to change it again. 3. I tried all the pins.
Top right corner, 3.
It's just
Well, I'm
super-
right-handed, and I'm kind of tall, so.
Yeah.
That's perfect. All right,
Yeah.
so 3.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
But when the last time I got the debit card, I needed to change the PIN because I'd forgotten what it was. So I go to the bank, I need a new card, need to set the PIN, and the guy was like, all right, what would you like? You can be anything between 4, and I think now you can do like 6 or 7 numbers like on your PIN. It used to always just be 4.
Yeah.
I always stuck with 4. Am I not being safe?
Yeah. So I think
Well,
you
no,
I think
you
can
probably
go-
just have like you and I. Like I've had the same debit card number for 20 years. So like, but
Well,
they've since gone for more than 4.
yeah,
Is what
like
Lee's
I think
saying.
you can do at least up to 6.
So you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now
really
you see,
thrown.
No one
That's
will figure this
twice as secure as 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, at least. I'm not a numbers
out.
guy.
I think it'd be 50% more secure.
Whatever. Compound interest.
So when the guy
I
asked
love to
me,
just throw out a
Buy,
time.
sell. Wait, what?
Yeah. But I mean, in a bear market, I mean,
Gotta hedge your bets.
yeah. I mean, in a bull market, your pin goes 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
oh, I would just say 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Market commodities.
Obviously. Obviously.
Well, the whole point is
Is that a Roth?
So the guy asked me, he's like, "Can you put in your pin?" And he puts a little keypad out, and I just go, click, 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 4 clicks. And he goes, "Sir, you can go up to 6 now." And I was like
you're the idiot.
"No,
Yeah.
the 4 is good." And he's like, "Well, 6 is more secure." I was like, "I can't remember the 4
Yeah.
from the last one."
Yeah, I'm
which
already.
I can tell you now what it was because it doesn't the same thing anymore. It was 1515. I only used 2 numbers.
And you still fucked it up.
So I was like, "Nope, sticking to the 4."
I've had to change my pin. My pin keeps getting changed because the kids keep figuring out my pin. So like when I'm going into like computers and stuff where I'm trying to like put parental controls or limits, I have to keep changing the pin because I don't know what these kids do all day. But I
How do they
think
know your pin.
I honestly I think they just go 1111. 1112.
They're
1113.
persistent. They got nothing but time.
1114.
I have
Yeah,
so many
I think they
passwords
really
and
do.
stuff. We have to know so many passwords and stuff now, and work and everything changes them all the time. Like, you can't keep up with all of them.
The only one that's completely like will never enter into any of the computers and none of, is the gun safe. That one has
Yeah.
an entirely different pin than anything else in my universe. So like
It's a whole
even if the
different
kids
process.
figure out like that pin will never end up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like,
Same
that
with
one
me.
that one is wildly different than all the others. Which also is great in a time of crisis because I'm like, boy, there's only one pin for this. It's not like I remind myself every
Not
so
like
often.
You open it every day.
I literally will go in there every so often and just practice the pin. To be like, doo, 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 doo.
How fast
Yeah,
can I
nailed
do
it.
All right, so it's only 4.
Doo, 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 doo,
Oh.
doo, doo, doo.
Was there a dash in there?
Yeah.
The Niner
Well, mine's by Morse code.
Okay.
Morse code.
Yeah. So
As
it's
in,
like doo, 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 doo,
Yeah.
doo,
Not
doo.
Morse code.
No, Morris.
Oh, Morris.
Yeah.
So Jim down
it was
the
like
road.
it was like the
Like Morse Day.
Betamax, the Betamax of the Morse code. It didn't quite catch on, so it
It's
actually
like
has.
not all copy machines are Xerox. I mean, there's different.
The only difference between Morse code and Morse code is that the Morse code actually has a medium, so it goes doo, 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 doo. So like you can hold one down for a little bit, like doo, doo, those are quick, and then doo, that's medium, and then doo is
yeah,
long.
that's long. Okay.
So you have to really. It's a lot more
Yeah.
secure.
Really fine tune that.
It's a lot more
super
secure.
secure.
Yeah, it's the most secure.
And you, like you said, in the time of crisis or emergency, you've
That's
got
what you
that on
want.
lock.
Yeah.
Yeah, Morse code.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I just had to spill out chrysanthemum and Morse code, which is a pain because the Y is 4 medium bursts. It's a really tough one.
You know what Lee probably never had to deal with? Because he's younger than we are. Remember when
Paper cuts?
when texting had the you couldn't just text. You had to like
Oh no, I had T9.
oh you had the T9?
My first cell phones had that.
Gosh, that was awful.
Yeah, that was. But think about how fast you got at it, though. You knew exactly how many clicks you had to hit on each
You
button.
really did get quick.
And I will say,
I was anti-text for like a year because of that. I was like, I'm not doing all this.
It was too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. R.I.P. to BlackBerry and
Officially, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, did they officially like
yeah, all
fold?
of their old devices are now officially done. They
Yeah.
will no longer.
No
the
longer-
legacy.
Yeah, no
BlackBerry.
longer fully support. So
Pretty
like,
crazy because they were like game changers.
they were coming out with new technology up to last year. even,
Wow.
like
I
putting
remember
out new
when
phones.
when I started my new job and I knew I was going to be doing email all the time on there. They gave me the option of like the iPhone 4 at that time
or the BlackBerry.
or the BlackBerry, and I was like, well, I'm no idiot.
Yeah.
I'll take the BlackBerry, which immediately dated me because like 3 years later in the company, I'm like the guy with the BlackBerry, and everyone younger than me is like just tapping away, and I was like, you guys don't have a keyboard, dude?
But that was a status
Like, I got a
symbol.
rollerball?
Like, that was
Absolutely, yeah.
crazy.
And there was also BlackBerry had the original kind of like exclusive messaging with like the BBM stuff,
It was beautiful.
which now Apple is being sued by Google and other like tech companies saying that Apple is effectively bullying consumers into buying iPhones because they don't want to have people talk about like, oh, my messages show up as green versus
I
like
hate
that.
show up
Yeah,
as
yeah.
blue. And so Google and these other companies are now suing Apple and effectively saying like, look, y'all are ostracizing a segment of people, forcing them into
what we
buying
do.
That's
what we do.
Dude, I do it too. I literally got people to buy iPhones because I was like, I'm tired of this shit.
What's so funny is it's just two gigantic Goliaths.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That are out
Just
there just
pecking at
punching
each
each
other.
other
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
you son of a bitch. The truth is we have no choice.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Because these two assholes are running the whole
Yeah.
damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're not getting one, you're getting the other.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the illusion of choice. At least BlackBerry was putting up the good fight.
It's kind of like politics, though, where like you're not convincing one to go to the other.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
No, it's all the
the
same.
Android people will not go to Apple.
Yeah, you're
and the Apple
dug in.
people will not go to Android.
Isn't that the truth? Like, I am so dug in.
Oh yeah.
The other
your-
day-
your heels are in. There's
This was
nothing-
heartbreaking. The other day, the Duke showed up with an Apple phone. He'd finally like left me. I haven't called him. like I'm done. Like I was shocked. I was like, "What have you done?"
The worst is when you have that one
Benedict
droid guy.
fucking Arnold over
yeah,
here.
when you have the
Yeah.
the one droid guy in the group text that you can't send pictures and videos and shit. Yes,
Yeah, we're talking
Oh,
about you, Brett.
I get that all the
every
time.
group text has one.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
group text I'm on, there's at least one.
Someone who thinks for themselves.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Y'all are sheep. Bet you're all vaccinated too, you fucking pussies.
Hey, let's get Lee's take on the future hops. Future
yeah.
hop, not hops.
That's a 4.
Oh, look at that. So it
Yeah.
really did win.
Yeah, that is very good. And again, the only distinction between the two of these is this doesn't have that creaminess that the
100%.
the Fine Creek one does.
Do you agree they have similar flavors
Yes.
going on?
Yeah, it is. It's the tropical fruits.
It's this new
the
this
future
this-
hop is way less flavorful to me.
Absolutely, but I was picking up on the same notes that I picked up on this. It's just you're right. This is juicy.
Yeah,
and
there's
like
a lot going on.
flavor forward with the Shape of Dreams, whereas the future hop is like still really crisp and
Yeah.
easy to drink.
crisp, dry, which is what I look for out of like wines. Like I want that dryness. I don't want a ton of like sweet, sugary, creamy kind
Yeah.
of flavor, and that's what I see out of the.
But we did
Fine
4, 4, 3.5. We didn't ring that bell. That is a deli.
Yes.
yeah, 3, 6, 7.
But the more I think about it, I think that is the better.
The future hop. You're pointing to the future hop.
I am sorry. Yeah, it's audio medium. I do think that the future hop is the better all-around beer
Probably.
for like the masses, whereas those that are looking for flavor, the Shape of Dreams
Yeah.
takes it up a notch, which ultimately is going to lose you some points in the big
Yeah.
game because you got to play to everybody. You can't just play to the people who love
Yeah.
over flavor. So I think that actually kind of worked out the way it was supposed to.
The hipsters will love that Fine Creek one.
The Shape of Dreams,
Yeah.
absolutely. And the more hardcore hop people,
Yeah.
if you're a juicy IPA guy, you'll probably appreciate the Shape of Dreams more. If you're looking for a crisp, hoppy, fun beer,
Yeah, I initially was reluctant when you said juicy IPA for the Shape of Dreams one, but the more I do kind of think on it, it's like, yeah, that does kind of have that profile. That
Oh, yeah.
juicy versus hazy always is a fine line, I feel like. And
yeah, we're.
I mean,
making it
looking
up.
at this one,
They're all adjectives that don't
it
mean
is-
much to me.
yeah, very cloudy, hazy for the Shape of Dreams one, and that's
Well, and that. I never thought about it until I poured them and saw them next to each
Yeah.
other. I go, oh yeah, that one's got a lot more protein in it. Kind of like Drake's hot sauce. Drake's hot sauce. If you put ITPH in the
Nacho
coupon code,
baby daddy.
yeah, you'll get pregnant.
yeah. Jeez.
That is insane.
I looked down the list of topics today, and Troy, I gotta say, dude,
Bravo.
your penis fixation ran deep.
I sent a lot of penis topics in.
I've never seen you do that though. Usually,
He's a confident man. He's not afraid
Yeah.
to like seek out other penis content.
That's right.
but
I know our listeners. I know what they want to hear.
I don't know
Just
that
giving
they
the
do.
people what they want.
Yeah.
But so Troy sent in a bunch of topics this week, and it was hilarious. It was literally it said COVID dick, and then it said pickle dick, and then it said double vagina.
that's not a penis.
Well, it's a female penis.
Penis adjacent.
Wait, what? A female penis?
Yeah,
mean,
until
yeah,
you're
it's
until you're,
2022, dude. I don't think you know what a female penis is.
for the record, we're all born with the same. We all have the same stuff, and then at one
Some
point,
of it's inside and some of it's
yeah,
outside.
and then some of it goes in, some of it goes out. You see a girl with a giant vagina, she would have been super popular as a dude. You see a woman with a little tiny vagina, that would have been a little dick
Brendan.
man. Oh, I would have had the sloppiest vagina. I'd be dropping births in the toilet. I'd be one of those like, I didn't even know I was pregnant.
That sounds like you.
I thought I had to take a crap.
Been constipated for the last 9 months.
Yeah. Look at this bloat. Yeah, I'm one.
It's all water weight.
The first 3 ounces were. Whoosh. Yeah, what are you talking about? That's a strong beer.
Is that all I sent?
No.
That's not all I sent.
No, then you had the beheading.
Yeah, all funny
Bit of a
stuff.
Bit of a downer.
But then you had the Drake penis thing. Like you were just doing a lot of
Penis research.
It's all I look for on the interwebs.
I see that. I see that.
On that work laptop you got.
That's
It's just
right,
Penis
yeah.
tabs.
Who needs a personal laptop?
You got all these government firewalls. They'll
And
take
this
care
explains
of
why he has an Apple, because you're not going to get a lot of virus on the penis sites.
Yeah.
So, all right, the one that you did send that I thought was very interesting is if we're going to do penis talk. The COVID dick I find wild. My man said that he had a
above average.
above average, which I love that he wasn't just like,
Oh, he didn't specify an inch.
no, because average, the rule of thumb is always somewhere between 5 and 6. Oh, you're gonna find out for me average penis size. Use Troy's phone.
I don't mind.
Yeah, the answer is somewhere between 5 and 6 inches.
Who could know?
Average length of an erect penis is between 5.1 and 5.5 inches.
Oh, well, you see, I round up.
But after taking volunteer bias into account, it is probably towards the lower end of this range.
Volunteer bias. How does that work?
9 out of 10 guys go in there and be like, yeah, it's 8 inches, no problem.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Go on.
I wonder if they have a formula for this. They're just like, all right, we're exponentially. It's everybody's coming in here. And
No,
says
you
this.
gotta measure it. I think that volunteer bias comes
Yeah.
down to like where the ruler was made.
Hold on.
Well,
if they're
if you-
running a
it depends whether
scientific
you
experiment, it
measure-
should be a third party taking the measurement, right? So how
Yeah.
could there be bias? Like,
I
You would think.
I do think that this is the first Google result here. I think that was really from people offering up what their actual length was.
yeah, rounding it up.
According to Healthline.com, the average penis size research says the average length is 3.6 inches for flaccid and 5.16 for erect. So we're going to call just over 5 inches being average.
Yeah, and what in the previous thing you said, 5 to 6 was
5.1 to 5.5 something.
yeah.
I think. Yeah. So I think that's
that's
right.
average.
But they're also, not to get in the weeds on this, but it matters whether you measure from the top or the bottom too.
There's a lot of different things that matter.
Yeah.
How much you weigh matters.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we're going to be, really, like you said, getting in the
Yeah.
weeds,
But the interesting thing in this whole article is talking about where this guy was like, I had an above average, and I
Yeah.
was like, okay, prove it, bitch.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Above average, like,
5'2".
if you're saying above average, like, you've got something to
You've
show
got
off.
extra.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, but this guy is claiming that he got COVID, and post-COVID, he lost 1.5 inches.
mm-hmm. And now he is decidedly under average or below average.
That's where it doesn't check out.
And that's where it's like,
It does if he was saying, okay, I was 6, and he's using these stats, these little dong stats, and saying that like 5'3".
No, but if you go from 6 to 4 or 5, you're not decidingly below average. Like, you're right there at average.
I feel like-
No. If you go from 6 to 4.5, you are decidedly below average.
I feel like, all right, and maybe this is incorrect of me to think, but I would say that like below average is like 3.
Yeah.
Where like 4.5
says the 4.5 over here. Who's like,
No,
I'm not decidedly below.
No, the stats he was reading was like 3.5 flaccid to
yeah,
just over
5.2.
erect.
Okay, so this guy says he lost 1.5 inches, which is a fairly significant.
That's substantial
thing.
no matter
That's
how you cut
substantial,
it.
yeah.
But I have heard from anecdotally.
Cardi B.
No, I have heard that because since COVID does constrict blood vessels and mess with blood
Yeah.
vessels and capillaries, that's a big part of why it's causing a lot of the issues that
Yeah.
it does. It would make sense, right? That maybe you wouldn't get as engorged.
I
so
can see
maybe,
that, yeah.
So maybe he's not getting as
So
big
if
as he
you're
once did.
if you're a grower, not a shower,
Then it probably hurts you more.
or it just doesn't get to the growing stage.
Yeah, it doesn't grow as
Yeah.
much. Because there's been a lot of stuff coming out that says like people who've had bad COVID are now experiencing ED where they didn't prior. That's been something that I've been seeing come up often.
Yeah, it's starting to show up in those quote long COVID research as the more and
Yeah.
more studies that are being done and more people that contract it and have lingering symptoms. Like you said, that absolutely factors into it when you talk about constricted blood vessels and how it affects like the skin at the top level.
If there's ever been a reason to mask up, boy.
Yeah.
Thank God we invented Viagra before COVID came around, because at least you could treat it.
So I read your damn article.
Yeah, you did.
And they literally had
Piqued your
like,
interest.
they had like scientific studies where they were showing like blood vessels and capillaries
Yeah.
and showing how they were like smaller under a microscope. And no, if you had 100,000 of these, then that is going to have some adverse effect. And the fact that I have been hearing about people getting ED after COVID leads me to believe this guy may not be full of shit.
But
But this is the only story I've
This
heard.
sounds like an
But
excuse, though.
justifying
100%. That's the
Yeah.
thing. When I read it, I go, this dude's full of shit.
Yeah.
He just wants to tell the new girls. Like, he doesn't want to change his Tinder profile.
yep.
He wants to put an asterisk and then at the bottom pull the
Well, the
Budweiser.
I had
descriptors.
COVID.
The descriptors is what, like, I had a above average,
Yeah.
and now I'm way below average.
Yeah.
Like, a 1.5 did that to you? Like, I don't think so, brother. Like,
if the average range is about a half an inch,
yeah.
losing an inch, I mean, I don't understand how that happens. Like,
Yeah.
and the
Like-
whole thing with like ED too is like, it's more
Thank
about your blood flow and not being able to become erect. It's not
Yes.
shortening the skin. Like
Yeah.
you're not losing the skin. So is he just not becoming erect any longer? Like,
I think that's a big part of it. He's probably like, man, this hard-on is not quite as long as it used to be. You're flaccid.
Yeah.
If you were turgid, you might have.
Yeah.
I got adjectives for days when it comes to that.
used them all.
No, I think you're right. Like, I think it's definitely a blood flow thing, but he's trying to, like, also cover up what some insecurities he may have.
I think so. I think he just didn't want to change. I think it makes for a good Tinder profile.
So he had a 2-inch dick and now he's got a vagina. Is what we're saying.
From an Audi to an in.
He's got a belly button.
Exactly. Oh, jeez.
I don't know how long we can go on that topic. I'm going to let it ride.
Again,
Technically.
but back to the hot sauce thing. Like, why are you putting that out there, dude?
Yeah. Why?
Like, keep
why
that to
draw the
yourself. Do
attention?
you think you're the only small dick guy out there? No. Shut it. and
Why are you
just
ruining it for all the small dick guys out
just
there?
work around it. Try to pleasure your significant other in other ways,
Yeah.
and just live with it. You're not the only dude out there fighting
Yeah.
this fight.
I mean, what if he's got tiny fingers and a very short tongue too? Like, now he's
Well,
just
now.
really screwed.
Got COVID fingers.
I got a COVID tongue. I can't taste anything because my tongue went away.
What people are willing to put out
Yeah.
of their own is just insane to me. It's just
2022 is
crazy.
wilding out already.
It is.
The oversharing is the problem.
Yeah.
People are oversharing. Like these used to be like sins.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I dug a condom out of the trash, or like,
Yeah.
my dong is an inch and a half short.
Yeah.
Why are we oversharing?
Dude, this is
Everybody wants their 15
I'm
minutes
glad
of
Lee's
fame.
here this week because he's a young man. He might be able to enlighten me on this. I had a conversation with my college boys the other day. Like, I'm not on TikTok. I am on Facebook because I'm old. So now Facebook has these things called Reels, and they just show up on your page, and they're just short little videos. I guess they're kind of like TikTok, maybe not. I don't know what I'm speaking about. But every now and then I'll click on one, and it's people doing dumb dances or doing dumb skits that are short. And I'm like, they're not even funny. And I'm like, why are you putting this stuff out here? Like, it's insane to me what people are willing to share. And then, of course, being on social media, it always amazes me what people put out and share about themselves. It's like, oh, I'm lit a candle. I'm like, fucking, what are you doing?
Who cares?
I read a book. Congrats. Now, like, this week, it's all about this new word game, and it's like these weird colored
Yeah.
squares, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about, but you played a word game and you feel the need to share that on your social media? Like,
Yeah.
I can't understand this stuff.
So I think that, and Brendan may have a little more like actual science basis on this, but I think that people do generally relate a whole lot more to video content versus still images content.
Oh, 100%.
So I think that's where you see more of the reels. I don't know if y'all remember Vine back
Yeah,
years
I do
ago.
remember
It
Vine.
the
That was
6 second
huge.
clips,
Yes,
But
7
that's
seconds or
yeah,
something.
that's where you really hit some of the quick one-line comedy kind of things. That has led into more of the real content.
I definitely understand. Like, hot chicks do something.
That's
Therefore
always gonna
people
sell.
watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, but I'm like, this is stupid shit. It's not even funny. There's no joke there. Like, what are we doing?
I think it's just generally easier for people to make video content that is like hits and sticks with people than it is for a stationary photo. And so Instagram, which is owned by Facebook, that's where Reels started.
So are they? They're doing videos now because I'm on Instagram.
Well, so they've got photos too. But when you're scrolling through your feed, as it's called, you're now seeing more reels than you used to see. It used to all be static.
So you're
images.
seeing videos of food.
Yeah, you're seeing videos of people making food. You're seeing videos of people reviewing food and those kinds of things, where you're still.
Is there
images.
a time limit to these things?
Yeah, I think it's I think you can. The reels can be longer. I don't know if those have a specific limit where the transition, because Instagram has reels and videos, so like full video. You could put up a 30-minute video if you wanted to. But you're starting to see more of that video content showing up in.
Didn't I see some of these? Like, a buddy sent me a TikTok today that was this girl doing this whole skit about the football playoffs, and she there must have been 30, 40 cuts in the video, and she had different jerseys on and stuff.
I know.
I was like, holy cow, that's work. Like, that is a lot of work.
So if it's probably the same girl that is semi-famous from that. She started doing that kind of on her own, and she's gotten picked up by some different.
So it's like
outlets.
a job thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Well,
now
that makes sense.
part of her job. She's a writer. She does all these different skits, college football, NFL, all these different things.
She's doing NFT farts.
Oh, she's in the game.
She's in the game now.
Yeah. EA Sports.
I was thinking that too.
But yeah,
it
is interesting to see how social media trends do change over time. And again, you had Twitter, which was a very brief, short couple sentences, fired off.
Until they ruined that.
And then it became
How'd
Vine.
they ruin Twitter?
Well, Twitter,
they went
from
140 characters to 250 characters.
Yeah, 280. They doubled it, I think.
It's now it's too long. Like now
people can do long form on Twitter, basically.
It used to be when we would.
But Twitter's the one that's not restricted, where the rest of them are restricted.
Oh yeah, anything goes on Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Twitter's
Which
great.
I'm not on any of them, but I feel like Twitter's the right one because
I'm on Twitter
there's
only
no
for like
censorship.
for like sports injuries. I do love being able to like look up that player and get like.
I will tell you, I use Twitter strictly as a news source, and
because it comes so fast.
absolutely, and like I was in the city on Sunday, I guess it was, and saw like an accident happen, and immediately was like, let me go see if anybody's talking about this and seeing what happened and how this came about, because I drove up on whatever was going on. I was
Twitter right away.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great for news source. Honestly, some incredible comedic talent on Twitter too. You just got to know where to find it.
Lee, are you gonna join us this week on the bets?
Yeah, I can.
Jump in late.
Yeah.
Just at bedtime?
I'm thinking we're hour 30 in.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's give the people what they want.
Let's just
We teased it at the beginning. We made them wait this long.
give them what we want.
Lots of average penis talk.
Speaking of average penises, the Bengals are playing on Sunday. Little Troy joke.
Yeah.
Troy loves the Bengals.
I'm a Bengals guy. I waited 31 years for that win.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Much deserved, honestly.
You can say that.
Should have bet on that.
I don't bet on my team.
This week. Oh, good. All right, I'm going to give you the lines.
All right.
As they sit now.
And
Soak
they
'em
did
up.
change.
Lock them in.
Oh, yeah, they're going to change, but this is the moment in time that we're looking at.
I'm not betting on the Bengals. That Titans team is going to wear them out.
So Cincinnati is playing the Titans, and the Titans are favored by 3.5.
That is crazy. They should be favored by more than that. At the Titans. And Derrick Henry's coming back.
Keep in mind, that's the first game of Saturday, so
Surely nothing can go wrong after
that's a
that.
big bet for me. Okay, so
That's gonna be
Cincinnati
$75.
Cincinnati against Tennessee. Tennessee favored by 3.5. The 49ers are playing the Packers in Green Bay. The Packers are favored by 6. The Rams are playing the Bucks in Tampa Bay. The Bucks are favored by 3. And the Buffalo Bills, nobody circles the wagons like the Bills.
Yeah.
are playing the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City, and Kansas City is favored by 1.5.
Wow.
Dude, these are all good games. Like, I don't want to bet on.
That's what I said last week. Worst week of football I've ever seen.
No, I mean like all
were
these
bad
games. I feel like all of these games, except maybe the Bengals. Like, I feel like either team could win. And we talked about that last week. I only like betting on teams I think are going to win outright.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you like an underdog, so you can get a couple points.
Yeah.
And then, but this week is tough. I mean, Tennessee Titans over your Bengals by 3.5.
I mean, 6.5 was the biggest line, wasn't it?
The Packers were 6-point
6,
favorites over
yeah.
the Niners. The Bucks are 3-point favorites over the Rams.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs are 1.5-point favorites
How-
over the Bills. So
how-
all the favorites are at home.
I'm gonna take the Niners.
You're going to take the Niners, getting 6 points against the Packers in Green
I think
Bay.
the Niners could win that game. I do.
I would like to see the weather report before making that decision. But I was going to say, think about how different that line might be between the Kansas City-Buffalo game if it were in Buffalo instead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But they're not.
I know.
But see, my problem is I feel like either team could win that game.
Sure.
Either team could win the Bills game, and either team could win the Bucks game. Or is that the same game?
The Bills are playing the Chiefs.
Yeah. So, and the Bucks play the
Bucks are playing the Rams, and the Bucks are favored by 3.
The Rams looked good last week.
Yeah, they did.
The Rams looked
The Rams bought their way
like
here.
a literal powerhouse.
What's the Bucks spread again?
The Bucks are favored by 3 over the Rams.
Kind of want to take the
I would say-
Bucks.
Yeah, but you could talk yourself into the Rams.
I
That is
could.
Yeah.
So, as good as they look.
I hate fucking.
They beat up on the Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
And the Cardinals were supposed
Did
to be
they
good.
beat the Cardinals?
Who can remember?
I don't remember. I remember all my money.
being gone.
I'll stick with the 49ers.
I see here that I have $20 more in my account. I had not brought into account the Travis Kelce bet. I had forgotten about that. I am rich. I'm about to go
Ham
so
up in here.
I'm gonna go so big.
Did Stu text you?
Yes, I have Stu's bet. Stu is taking the Bengals plus 3.5 over the Titans.
He took the Bengals last week. He loves Joe Burrow and he loves Jamar Chase. He's an LSU guy.
Yeah.
So he's got plus 3.5. Stu is going for it.
I kind of always worry about the teams that get the bye. You know, sometimes it's good,
Yeah.
sometimes it's bad.
Sometimes sitting off
Oh,
a week.
yeah.
I tend to think of gambling as don't overthink it.
But I do think statistically the bye teams
Probably do
win.
better. Yeah.
They win.
Lee, where are your numbers? Now you are a whole game behind, so this is going to
so
be.
I gotta take 2.
No, you just gotta.
No.
You just can't lose.
I'll take
Can't
LA.
pull Brendan.
I'll take the Rams.
Over the
The Rams over the Bucks
Over
plus
the Bucks.
3.
Yeah. I think that they've got a chance. Well, because you said the Bucks are favored, right?
The Bucks are favored by 3 over the Rams.
Yeah. So I like the idea of getting a couple points there, and I think LA can hang with them. But I don't really want to
They
bet
could
against
win
Tom.
outright.
Yeah, that's what I'm
They
saying. I
could
don't want to
win
bet against
outright.
Tom Brady, but I think LA's got a pretty damn good team. And I'll go ahead and throw some other picks out there. I think
okay, but that's not the one that you're putting on the one you're putting on the board.
yeah.
Is
But
officially the Rams.
Yeah, give us your whole line. If you got more, give us
yeah,
more.
I'll say Bengals are going to win, Packers will win, and I don't remember the other game now. Kansas City,
Buffalo and
Buffalo.
Chiefs.
Buffalo will beat Kansas City.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're an idiot.
I like that you're pulling from the Bengals.
Here's
Yeah,
how
well, T. Higgins.
here's how my gut says this goes down. So everybody, take note.
Buckle up. So I hope you pick all the ones that I didn't pick. So.
Here's what I think. Tennessee beats the Bengals.
Do they cover?
Packers.
Are you saying the cover too?
Oh yeah, no, that's with the
Okay.
cover. I say the Packers cover against the Niners, the whole 6 points. The Rams Bucks, I am really torn on.
That's a tough one.
So 100%, I'm a Bucks guy. Like I am, like they're gonna do it. Not
You
this
would
time.
like
Did
Tom
you watch
Brady.
that?
Yeah, that's my problem. It's ruining Man in the Arena. It's ruining.
No,
me.
did you watch the 49ers game with that Deebo Samuel dude? Like, that dude can do it all.
I understand that. But you see, Rodgers hasn't had the COVID vaccine. He's still got all his wits about him. He's faster.
Yeah.
He's got that stamina.
Yeah.
That dude's dick has grown 1.5 inches since COVID
He
started.
got the other guy's 1.5 inches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good
he had
on
that
him.
ivermectin.
Yeah.
So it's actually really good in horses and dudes with enormous dongs.
And he's also John Wick.
So I'm gonna flip it and say the Rams beat the Bucks, which is crazy. No one would think
That's
that.
what Lee said.
Okay. And then I will take the Chiefs to beat the Bills. But because knowing that I cannot start gambling without a W, I will bet on the very first game, Bengals-Titans, and my official pick is the Titans to cover 3.5 over the Bengals.
Yeah, I would be willing to bet on that too, but I don't want to bet against my team. Just can't do that. I'm pulling for them.
Actually going to place the bet right now. In real time
Okay.
because it's the first game of the day. And that'll
Spread
be-
might change though. You might want to wait. Might be in your favor.
Yeah, might not. Placed.
All right.
It's official.
Derrick Henry just blew his knee out.
I just took the Titans to beat the Bengals minus 3.5. So that's my official. And that will start my Saturday.
Yeah.
And if
And
that
then we'll
hits,
go from there.
And if that
Can't
hits, then I'll be able
wait.
to keep betting.
And if it doesn't hit, you'll still keep getting.
I still have a little bit of money. I forgot about the Kelsey bet. I thought that went the other way. That was the only money. Turns out I have two $20 bets left to my name. There was a lot more money in
Did
the
you put
account,
20
though.
on that Bengals game?
I did.
Yeah.
I'm sticking to my guns until Sunday when I'm like freaking out.
He's going to hit both of them on Saturday.
Yeah.
He's sitting there with about, $40, $50 and be like, oh, man.
Put
I
it
need
all
to
on
build
black.
this up.
Green
I mean,
Bay
I
game
need to
looks
build this
good.
up. I need to build this up. And I'm not
2
completely.
games Sunday, 2 games Saturday.
Yep.
And I'm not opposed to your parlay idea.
That was my idea.
It was your idea?
Yeah.
Well,
Whomstevers.
no one knows who I was looking at.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm not opposed to that. It could work. All right, so we've got our bets in. Let's see if I can get one
Let's
back.
go. Yeah.
And so officially, if I win, then Stu would lose.
Yep.
So he and I would be tied.
I was smart to go against that.
Yeah, I have to start chipping away. You know?
One game in, we have to start breaking that down.
Honestly, though, like Troy's bet on the 49ers, I think. But see, you get 6 whole points.
Yeah.
And I love the 6 points because
I like big points.
Yeah.
I
think
cannot
that's-
lie.
Yeah.
that's basically what you did, right?
Yeah.
You looked at the spread, saw the most points.
Well,
went,
and I think 49ers are playing well. And I
think they'll keep it within 6.
I don't always think I know that the favorite usually wins that gets the bye, but sometimes people come out flat after
Yeah,
that.
so
you
not
know?
I mean, not to go too deep into it, but the
well, we are the number 1 sports podcast in
Exactly.
Richmond. So.
one of San Francisco's best things is they run the ball really fucking well,
Yeah,
and
and
Green Bay
Green Bay
does not
sucks,
stop
yeah.
at the run. Like,
So I
That's
won't
gonna be
put that. I'm going to leave Green Bay out of my parlay. I'm just going to do a 3-game parlay.
sure,
There you go.
This is brilliant.
That Debo dude is
yeah,
insane,
he's
dude.
crazy. Yeah,
Wide receiver and running back. I mean, it's crazy.
they changed over the dude from Atlanta. Was it Cordarrelle Patterson? They changed him over from wide receiver to running back.
Nobody has figured out how to use that guy until Atlanta this year,
Yeah.
and that was the only bright spot on that
Yeah.
team. Because every year
And they
people
still
have
suck,
had that.
though.
They did, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Like from a fantasy perspective, he was one of the best. And the fact that you could, but we're getting in the weeds. But the fact that you could throw him in, as a running
Yeah.
back or a receiver made him
It
so
really made it so much
valuable
more
for
flexible.
a lineup.
There's
Yeah.
a guy for Green Bay that did that a couple years ago too. Oh my God, I wish I could remember his name. But they had the same thing where all of a sudden every fantasy league had to be like, well, he's a running back and a wide receiver.
It's helpful.
And it's like if you had him, you were money because
Yeah,
you
when you can
slide him around.
find a Swiss Army knife like that,
Yeah.
you can use that to your advantage.
That's basically what the running backs that catch the ball are anyway. I mean,
Yeah, but they're a running back.
yeah,
Saying
but
these
they,
people that line up outside where they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
we
yeah.
don't even know where to classify them, that opens up so many
well, they
possibilities.
come across the backfield and take the ball and
It's nice.
break one off.
So there you go. You got your sports. You got your sports at the end. It's not all dicks. Much to Troy's chagrin.
Oh
Yeah.
man, not enough.
Troy
TikTok.
really wanted this to be an all dick pod.
He almost got his wish.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And there's been a topic that I've let run over for 2 weeks now, and it's one of those that's
That
bumming
doesn't
me
sound
out.
like us at all.
I wish I would have gotten to it, but we'll get to it. Thank you guys so much for tuning
dick-centric.
in. I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible because Troy's doing the pee-pee dance. We got to go.
Gotta
If
go.
you haven't had a chance to head over to Nectar Sunglasses, you can drop Bowflex in the coupon code. You'll get 20% off of those sunglasses. Now's a good time to do it. You're still going to need them, and those polarized lenses help when you're on the slopes. Just saying. If you do want a mortgage, well, you waited a little long, but if you're buying a house, I guess that's kind of irrelevant. Head over to Screen Door Mortgage. Reach out to them. Talk to Jimmy. The only thing that you're going to get out of that, he's going to get you a sweet Yeti cup. Doesn't really do anything for you, but I already know it's the best deal you can get. And there is something to be said for someone who will take care of you in that process.
Great
Trust me
customer
on
service. You'll get that.
that is the one thing that you cannot guarantee anywhere else, and I'm certain you'll get it there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't had a chance to send us any topics, you can do so at InsideThePalletHouse@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook. You can now rate and review on Spotify as well as iTunes and any other places that you go. We already had our first review on Spotify. Thank you, Lee. Very excited about that. Got 5 stars. Pretty psyched.
It did tell me that it wouldn't show ratings until enough people had reviewed. So.
That's some bullshit.
So if you're a Spotify person, head over there,
Yeah, we
find
need
Inside
that.
the Pallet House, rank us at a bunch of 5s. That would be helpful. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers.
Cheers. And if you want to send money to Venmo at Inside the Pallet House.
It's weird podcasting as always. It's probably one.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
That was a pretty penis podcast, don't you think?
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
By the way, when you're telling these little stories, here's a good idea.
Right. I'm gonna go get the coolers. Hola. Adios.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.